Hey everybody, this is Dennis Wilborn. This video is going to show you how I use market action points to find market bottoms. Market action point has found every market bottom going back to 2003 in our back testing, and it provides a tremendous opportunity to those who choose to get involved with it to also participate and trade along with us as we find those market bottoms. Anyway, take a listen. This is one of the other services that we provide through active trend trading. I want to basically just say, if it's the first time you've been on our YouTube channel, do me one favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. It'll ask you, do you want to get notified of new material? And just say yes. And also, if you are interested in finding out more about market action points, down in the description, there'll be a link, and we do have open season that'll be finishing up on the 29th of February, and you will not be able to get into market action points again until either December or January of this.
Okay, hey, good day, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn, the founder of Active Trend Trading. Welcome to the most recent update, end of February 2020. Update for market action points. That's MAPS. Joining me today is my son, Brandon Wilborn, the part of the Active Trend Trading team for MAPS. Hi, Brandon.
Aloha.
Aloha. He's in Boise. I'm in Hawaii. And we just want to show everybody our smiling faces, and then we're going to hide, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take my video off, and then we'll get right down to business. Okay, just a quick reminder, of course, is that all the materials we do present are for training purposes. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. Past performance is not a promise or a projection of future performance. The objective of what we're trying to do today is basically provide timely updates on all MAPS trades. It is, basically we're doing the recording today on the 27th of February. We've had one major MAPS trigger. Let's see what the notes say. Yeah, one major MAPS trigger. It happened. The alert came on the 6th. The trigger came on the 7th, and we got into a trade about that time frame. We'll be going over that trade today. My part of the update is basically the 2020 refinements we were telling people about and talking with everybody that we worked really hard on through the last quarter of 2019. They worked very well for the first trade of the year. What were those refinements? Well, they included the following. One, an earlier momentum shift triggers. We basically took a little bit of, what was keeping us out of certain trades last year? Was there any solid technical signals that would have enhanced our entry level? We believe we've found those. Secondly, enhanced strategic profit targets and stops. We continue to eliminate the need to just stay with a trade for a certain period of time and then jump out of it. And then focus shift to capture longer term profits when the indexes go into rally mode. Now, this last trade, it did last about 14 days, but never went into total rally mode. What did you sense about the first trade of the year, Brandon?
It was representative, actually, from the back testing and everything we did before, that there were plenty of times where we'd get a good signal and the thing would run up a ways and then, hit the brakes before it really took off. And those are the times when we get cautious and bring those stops up, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep. And then for regular MAPS, remember we'll cover the current alert condition. Will be covered at the end of the video for already MAPS members, and so we're kind of combining this video into a couple of different things. One is we're in and I'll cover that in just a little bit. So, Brandon, can you walk us through the, this is something that shows up on the MAPS web page or site, And you don't have to tell us what condition we're in right now, because part of this is going to go as a free video. But what are these signals telling somebody if they're looking at the map site?
This is our traffic light system,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically a red light, red, green, or red, yellow, green. We've got what we call in our setup alert. It's our hey, pay attention, get ready, and that's primarily just for you and I.
Okay.
When some of our initial indicators and triggers fire, that will turn from red to green, but we don't send an alert out on that. It's just if you happen to be on the website and you see it turn from red to green, we're looking for a trade potentially, but it hasn't given us enough data to say a trade's coming up soon.
Exactly.
And once that is green, then on the trigger alert, then we're looking for a few more layers of data to fire before it'll turn yellow. At yellow,
Okay.
we're looking for the next few days, 1 to 4 days, we're expecting a trade to happen.
Okay.
And then green is we send out the actual alert with all of the trade information included and where we're planning a trade, and you can parallel trade with us, or it means we're already actually in a trade.
Okay. Now, one of the things we've also done on the website is we do put down the dates underneath there to show when we were either triggered into the trade, just as for information for you, so you'll know how current the actual graphic here is. What do we do? Let me ask you a question, Brandon. Let's say we're in a trade and it's going along, swimmingly. Would the trigger alert then stay green as long as we're in the trade?
Yes.
Okay. And it would be turned to red when we exit the trade?
Yes. When we exit the trade, it'll turn back to red.
Okay.
And then now there might be a rare occurrence where it turns to red, and very quickly the setup turns back to green, and we're waiting for the trigger to then turn yellow.
Excellent. So yeah, and I know our maps members do in fact check this to make sure that see where things are. And again, just to reiterate what Brandon said, if it's the setup alert, no text message or alert or email alert will go out on that. So
now we do tend to, or we try to send out an alert when it turns yellow.
Yes.
To say, hey guys, expect something soon, so keep an eye on your text and your email.
Exactly. And then the green, when it does turn to green, that's when we send out the specifics of what will actually trigger a trade for us.
Right.
So, okay, 2021 trade year to date off of a major signal, and we traded TNA on that. We're up 2.49%. We'll get in a little bit about how that trade went. Again, I was very pleased with it. We held that trade for 13 days, and it just never totally kicked into a full-fledged rally. But again, part of the refinements we made coming out of 2019 was to make sure that if we had a nice profit in there, we didn't let that profit turn into a loss. So here's what we were looking at for that. I want to show you what the trigger was. Is right here. Basically, we had the initial alert came out. It came out on this day here, that big red candle right there. That's when we got to saying, okay, you now have an alert. We put in an order to buy on the pullback back into this area of support. And on the 7th, we were in fact filled at, remember what we were filled at, Brandon?
It was right about 70-10.
Okay, yeah, because that was on TNA.
Because this is IWM.
So,
but yeah.
And so what that translated to on IWM was a trigger in at about 164.80 or 90. And then what happened from there is prices did take off. However, what transpired from there is it never pushed, it hit this level of past resistance, never pushed above it. I'll show you where that is. Came from anytime you get at a level of either resistance or support, always look to the left, and you'll see, yeah, it had fallen from, you know, previously right at that level, and sure enough, it hit it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and that's when we said, well, if it breaks that candlestick right there, we want out, and it did that on on Friday of last week. So we actually wound up exiting the position last Friday, and aren't we glad? As you can see, it as you know, the market, the index has gone into a really more significant correction. This is one of the reasons, Brent, I was really pleased that we in fact did refine what we were doing, so that we wouldn't have been just hanging there, going through the iteration of a falling market, needing to hang around for 20+ days for it to come back. Which that
like even on the system we had, the rules we had last year, that would have been a black swan event.
Yeah.
Where we had a full stop loss.
Yeah.
Come out.
Yeah.
Because of the gap.
Yeah, but I think we would have stopped out on that down here, way below where we got in.
That's what I'm saying. Is it probably would have been close to a full initial stop out.
Yeah.
Because of that initial gap on Monday.
But instead, we got up here, applying some good technical analysis and all that kind of stuff. And so we'll take a look at that here shortly. And then, again, that's our first trigger of the year. Here's our back testing showed us that on average we run somewhere about four trades per year. That does not include the minor trades. Add to that approximately 3 more trades. So we're anticipating, if it hits average, that we will have 3 minor trades for 2020 plus another 3 or 4, maybe even 5 trades in the major category for 2020. And so let's see here. So here is an overview of the refinements that we have in fact made. And if you have any questions on this, Brandon, just jump right in. 1, early momentum shift triggers. We saw this when the first order was placed based on a pullback to support. In other words, we weren't just buying on the day of the trigger, where we wanted something to happen where we would get in at a much more, a better price. Again, it gets back to that old adage. We wanted to buy at wholesale so we could then turn around and sell at retail. We refined and now provide enhanced strategic profit targets and stops. The refined profit taking at Keltner channels and technical trailing stops, which is what triggered last Friday, a technical trailing stop, and also to be able to sell a partial positions at specific profit targets, and then move to a longer-term trade. That's something that we did not have in place previously. I think that's going to be a real big plus for us.
Well, we had the basic idea of getting out of a partial position at our first target.
Yeah.
We just modified and refined that target so that it was more likely to hit that target. Because previously we would get close. Kind of like we did on this last trade, get close and not actually fulfill.
Yeah.
And then we've go on to number 3, and that's where we really have made a big shift.
Yeah. And this is where we're now with the focus shift to capture longer term profits when indexes go into rally mode. Oftentimes when, and that's one of the things in the past, we didn't really have the all the tools in place to be able to capture that a larger portion of that rally mode when the indexes did go and started making new highs really, really quickly and moving on up. So after taking partial profits, what we'll be doing is we'll look to a longer term holding period to capture a greater percentage of the move. And we'll be demonstrating that at the end of today's video. And so with that, And so let's go ahead and get in a little bit more into the nuts and bolts. But before we do, I want to just highlight to folks that, MAPS, we currently have an open season, special limited time offer, and it ends February 29th, and it will not be open again until the end of 2020. Prices on MAPS will never, ever be at this level again. So if if it's time for you to become a MAPS member and take advantage of these, how this system has performed in the past, then you can jump on board, still become a charter member, $3.99 per year. You sign up here, activetrendtrading.com/MAPS ATTS discount. And it will be basically, if you're watching this and you're not a MAPS member, it will be posted on the YouTube channel where you're taking a look at it. And then lastly, if you don't want to go the full $3.99, you can jump on board $244 for the 6-month version, and you just pay into easy payments of $224 per half year. And so,
yeah, I would encourage people to look at it. And if you do want some more data, more information about the specifics of all of our testing and all of our research on this system, go watch the other video that we had previously done about this. It gives you more detail. This is just a taste of what comes out on a monthly basis, reviewing the market, reviewing what's happened, reviewing what types of trades we've got going.
Yeah.
But I think one point we haven't made yet is that on the initial trade we had this year, you pointed out that there was about a 2.5% gain we had. On the IWM that we were trading off of, it was only a 0.85% gain. And so the idea of using TNA to boost our gains, that is proof positive right there that our thing is working the way we intended it to.
Exactly.
And the whole point of the game, the name of the game is compounding. That 2.5% may not sound like a huge return.
Yep.
But you do that a handful of times throughout the year, and you're very quickly at a solid 20-30% return.
Exactly. And so thanks for bringing that up, Brandon, because that is so very important. Is just remember that this is a compounding type of effort with the MAP system. And we do provide, for those who want to parallel trade with us, we do provide where we're going to enter, where we're going to exit moving forward. So again, I encourage you, while it lasts, it'll be done, at the end of the 29th, this offer will be gone, and there will never be an offer like this ever again. It will probably go back to its original $8.99 a year.
I think for the people who maybe are thinking of this, is this for me? If you're a busy guy or gal, if you're a busy person, especially a busy professional, this system kind of comes out of your experience, Dad, of working 60 plus hours a week, trying to trade and trying to fit those hours and hours of research in on a weekly basis around the edges, and then sneaking off to trade during your break time or in your bathroom time. And we designed this to be something that people can do around their job without having to be crazy, spending time learning how to trade, spending time all that doing research, and just to make this straightforward and simple so they can have some success without having to do all the work ahead of time. They're kind of piggybacking on you.
Yep. Yeah. And it also works really good for, your 401k or your TSP type of account to give you some timing to get into trades. But enough about that. Again, so if you're not a MAPS member now, here's your chance to get on board. There will be links in the description on the YouTube channel of exactly how to take advantage of this membership. And so that's it. Now we're gonna basically go away from, thanks for watching. If it's the first time you've seen us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell just to be reminded when we do post additional content.
If they sign up today, what are the members going to see after this part of the video is over?
Well, what we're going to basically get into is the actual nuts and bolts of when and where to take profits and how to take profits, so that each member is well equipped and ready to take the actions needed when we do get into trades. So they're not absolutely 100% dependent on exactly how I'm trading. They'll know some of the intricacies of the system. And plus, we promise a monthly training video and update video for MAPS member. And that's the rest of what I'm going to be showing in the next 10 or 15 minutes for the actual MAPS members.
All right. So if you'd like to get in on that and find out the details of how we actually trade this system and how you can be part of it, then go join.
Yep. Yeah, because it is in a recorded format, and so all of the MAPS members do get to view that.